most of the women that come in our community feel like when they lose weight, they will have a higher self-worth. But in this video, we want to chat with you about how to develop a high self-worth, because that's the only way you're actually going to lose weight, is if you know who you are, you know what you want before you try to lose weight, is actually going to help you. If you're trying to lose weight to find who you are, it's backwards. And so in this video, we want to talk about what are the ins and outs of that. What is self-worth? How do we lose it? How do we gain it? What does weight loss have to do with any of this? And when we're trying to lose weight, what are we really seeking?
Self-worth, you know what I just thought about?
I'm going to look it up.
So what I just thought about is that weight loss, I think the reason why a lot of people who lack self-worth want to lose weight is because that is a visible validation of you are worth more. And I was thinking about it because...
Why though? Why? What happens when we see... So you said because. I totally cut you off.
No, or like we see this in the entrepreneurship space. You know, like
having a lot of money validates that you're a successful entrepreneur,
right?
Or something.
So you see, like all of like just all of these like smoke screens, because people care more about the validation, but they don't actually know themselves. And you go first before I get to my next point, because I think it's gonna...
I'm just thinking about this. When we think about our self, okay, so hold on. Self-worth, basically it sent me to self-esteem. It's like, it's another way of saying self-esteem. I'm like, okay, well, great. What's self-esteem? Confidence in one's own worth or abilities, self-respect. Interesting. So when we think about confidence, we think about the way that other people look at us. And we think that when somebody else looks at us with admiration or love, we have confidence now. But what you don't realize is confidence doesn't come from other people.
Right.
And what other people think about you. It's called self-confidence. It's not called others' confidence. It's called self-confidence. It's how you feel about you. That's why when your friend says, girl, you look great in that dress, but you feel like a fat piece of shit, you're like, thanks. But on the inside, you're like, no, I don't. It's called self-confidence. Because somebody can give you a great compliment, but if you don't believe it about yourself, it's literally like poofs up into oblivion, like poof, gone. It doesn't matter. It's worthless. It's a worthless comment. So when this says like, it's basically like a belief in your own abilities or your own worth. How do we get that? Not from losing weight. And something that we say often is, it's not about the weight that you lose, but who you become in the process. Why? Because the things that you do, I like to explain it as there's two versions of you. There's a version of you. Let's make an example of somebody who's about 200 pounds, a woman, 200 pounds. Let's say she's 5'4". Okay. I would say that's like a pretty middle place for where our people are at, right? Like 5'4", 200 pounds. Okay. And there's this version of her in that body. And there's also a version of her in whatever the vision she has of her like ideal body that would just make her feel like amazing on top of the world, so confident I can do anything, go anywhere, talk to anybody, ask for what I need, and when I walk into a room, I'm that version of her, maybe it's 135 pounds. The 200-pound version and the 135-pound version they're completely different people. Same soul. I wouldn't say same core values. Similar values, but behaviors misaligned in the 200-pound body. Behaviors aligned in the 135-pound body. We're proud of these behaviors. We're not proud of these behaviors. And because we're not proud of these behaviors, our confidence is low. Because we make excuses for why we can't do things. Because we think things are other people's fault. Because we, can't stick to anything. Because we can't follow through. Because, whatever reasons. Now, the habits, the behaviors, the thought processes, the morning routines or lack of in this body have gotten us to this 200-pound body. But the other version is still the same person inside, but just with different habits, different behaviors, different thought processes, maybe a different group of friends, probably a different group of friends, a different way they communicate, they listen to different things, they shop at different stores, they buy different groceries, different things are important to them. So both versions of you exist, but which one is the most expressed is going to determine how much confidence or self-worth or self-esteem you have. So as I'm looking at this, assertiveness training for those with low self-esteem. Okay, self-respect, self-regard, pride, dignity, morale. Okay, other words. Great. So to lose weight, we do it backwards. We say, I'm going to lose weight, and then I'm going to be confident. What if we did this? What if we said, let me do the things that make me feel confident about myself, and then just see what happens? Just commit yourself for 6 months. Don't expect it to happen in 4 weeks or 8 weeks, and also don't expect for the journey to ever end. Because the journey of self-love and self-respect is for life. So what if you started doing the things that showed yourself you loved yourself, you respect yourself, eat well, move your body, be kind to yourself, get good amount of sleep, hang out with people who are really genuinely respectful and supportive and encouraging and inspiring to you. Listen to podcasts and watch TV shows that bring you hope and inspiration, not fear and depression. What would happen if we just started doing the things that make us confident and then see what happens with our bodies? I have said a lot, and I am really good with it.
Yeah, great stuff. And I was thinking about it. People look at weight loss like it's an event when the reality is that it's a process. And I share this with you because, the thought process of when I lose weight, I will have higher self-worth. When I lose weight, I will be happy. When I lose weight, blank. You think that what did you define self-esteem as again?
Confidence in one's own worth or abilities.
Confidence in one's worth or abilities. You see yourself to have certain, worth, and because that's how you see yourself, you think that is how others see you. And, that's why we hear so many people, I will be loved when I lose weight. It's because you don't love yourself because of where you're at. And that is the issue. Uh-huh. Now, when you look at, I will be blank when I lose weight, you're looking at weight loss like an event.
You're looking at I have to achieve this thing to feel this thing when you have to feel this thing in order to achieve the thing.
Yes. The self-worth doesn't happen in the, oh my God, my after photo looks great, I am so worthy. No. If this is what you're waiting for, then you're going to notice that it's never going to come.
What do you think about in those moments instead? Instead of the transformation from one picture to the next, what are the things you actually think about when you see that new version of you?
Yeah. So
I'm asking you.
What?
What are the things that you think about. When you see the two photos, you see the 200 pounds and then you're 135 now, and you see the 135 pound body. Like, aside from just the weight or the transformation in the body, like, what are the things that you're thinking about when you look at that 135 pound body?
Yeah, when you're looking at it though as if it's an event though rather than a process, then you're still seeing the same thing.
But you wouldn't have made it there.
Right.
So when you do make it there, what are you're not thinking about the weight. What are you thinking about?
Everything that you're not.
No, man. I'm trying to get her to answer a certain way, and she's not answering a certain way. You think about everything you've overcome.
Right.
You think about, oh my gosh, like,
when you
look,
focus on the process, but you're
No.
showing it to me as if it's the event.
No, you're looking at the photo.
Okay.
You don't make it to your goal if you're only looking at it as an event, because you get to
Right.
a point where you're no longer so uncomfortable
Right.
that you start making justifications, because the event it's not as painful anymore. I'm not 200 pounds anymore. Oh, I'm 140, I'm 155. So look what I've done. So now I'm gonna have an ice cream cone and I'm gonna have this and that. But that's the event side of it. So you don't make it to the goal if you're only focused on the event. But when you do make it to the goal, then you look at the photos side by side.
So
You've
hold on,
accomplished
you're
this
skipping
body.
a step, because this is why I didn't understand you. When you make it on to your goal, it's because you focused on the process, not on the event. So when you look at the event, what?
We've gone so far down a rabbit hole, and all I was trying to do was elaborate on a point that you were making, which is when you look at it as an event, it doesn't work.
Right.
And I'm saying when you've made it,
Yeah.
because why? I'm trying to say, because why is when you look at the picture of yourself when you do make it all the way and you haven't treated it like an event, you are proud not because of the weight. So what I was trying to say is that the difference between treating it like an event and treating it like this is my life is you have pride not because of the weight, but when you treat it like an event, all you're focused on is the weight. So anyways, I'll just shut up because I didn't make a whole lot of sense from where you were coming from, apparently.
Maybe in the comments you can tell us if Erin made sense to you. But the point is, you do not become happier when there is a certain after photo, if all you're focusing on is the after photo. Because what you're going to notice when you look at the after photo, if that's all you've focused on, is that you're still in the same exact spot. You do not become happier when you step on the scale and it shows you 135 pounds.
Can I elaborate?
Yes.
Or try?
Yeah.
So I've been in this spot
Yeah, me too.
where I did lose a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
But because it was an event,
Uh-huh.
you are no happier than you were before.
Right.
You're actually still miserable because you've become a slave to every calorie that goes into your mouth.
And that is why the weight goes back up.
Because then you're defeated and you just...
Because your thoughts are the same, and now your thoughts are just magnified.
And you're like, well, I'm not any happier that I've lost weight. But there's also another element. You have a fear. You have a fear of regaining the weight, and you obsess about it. If we're treating it like an event, if we're treating weight loss like an event,
Yeah.
not like this is just the new way that I live, and I respect myself, and I love myself, and I treat myself well, so I eat vegetables, and I, drink water, and I get sleep. When you treat it like I'm eating a calorie deficit, and that's the focus, you might get to the goal, but the goal isn't usually just to lose weight. The goal is to feel great about yourself. And so even if you lose the weight, but you're missing the feel great about yourself part, what was the point? You did it wrong.
So I wanna share with you a thought for anybody who's listening or like, man, I feel like, I don't feel worthy. I don't love myself. How can I say I love myself when I really don't? I get it. So here's how you literally sell yourself in, getting there. So let's use the love myself. This is how I would honestly talk to myself in the case that, that was not the case.
Wait, what?
This is how I would talk to myself, right? In the case that, not loving myself was a struggle of mine.
Okay. If you don't love yourself, this is what you say.
Yes.
Okay.
So one of the things that you can tell yourself is, I am working on loving on myself.
Believable.
Or I am working on loving myself.
Is that what you just said?
Well, at first I said loving on myself. As we're recording this, we are at the end of the week and we're right before our live event. And if you care, and if you care to know what's going on in our life, you know what? There's like 100 things going on in my mind. So if I say things where I sound like a cuckoo, you already know I'm a cuckoo. Now you know.
I'm loving on myself.
Yeah. So I am working on loving myself. Is something that you can tell yourself. Another thing that you can tell yourself is, I can love myself more and I am working on my progress.
Also believable.
You're taking ownership of that. And this is really powerful, because the energy that you put into your language matters. I am a firm believer that if you're at a point where you really dislike yourself, sometimes when brand new people come to our community and I see some of their posts, literally my heart breaks, because they call themselves names like
they don't even realize.
They're like, I'm an idiot, I hate myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, God bless your soul.
So glad you're here.
Yeah,
so glad you're here.
But let's say if you're feeling at a point where you're like, I hate myself, instead of saying that, right? Like, even if you know that you're at the lowest of lows, say, I am working on loving on myself. Loving on myself. I am working. I think it's because it's the
Sarit is working on talking.
I've been working on it for like 20 years now.
This is actually a really great time of year too. When we release this, is going to be like mid-December probably. So this is like, the time of year where there's so many things around that we can make justifications for: extra eggnog or sugar cookies or almond roca or caramel corn, or I could go on and on, because my mom made them all when I was a kid. Actually, she still does, but I'm also still a kid, so I guess it still applies. And this is a really great time to begin working on, how do I show myself a little bit more love and respect? How do I love on myself? And that, like this.
Yeah, see me taking my clothes off, loving on myself.
All right. So, anyways, if you're listening to the podcast version of this, the video is
check out the YouTube too.
Okay, so what was I saying? This is a great time of year to begin to build momentum into the new year, because oftentimes people are like, by the way, like, we're actually starting a transformation kickstart challenge, a 5-day transformation kickstart challenge on January 2nd. And, if you're not in that yet, go to emunahstrength.com/TKC. EMUNAH. Strength.com. We'll actually put a link in the description below, but it's a free challenge. It's 5 days. It's really amazing. It's going to help you, during this time of year right now is a great time to begin practicing those things. I am working on loving myself more. Even if
I'm working on increasing my self-worth, rather than saying
I am worthy.
Rather than saying I have no self-worth, or I am worthy of all things. Like when you do not believe it, it seems so far away. It's almost like, when
you're lying to yourself.
Yeah, it's almost like when a client is coming to us and they've been struggling with sugar addiction for who knows how many years. We're not just gonna say, starting tomorrow, no sugar. That's what everybody told you, and that's why you keep on going back for it,
It's
right?
hard to fathom.
Because it consumes your mind so much that when you take it away, all you want is more of it, right? So like, how do we progress your thinking in a way where you can wrap your head around it? So just like with food, we're like, okay, well, how about instead of you eating the entire tub of ice cream, let's go for half today, right? I am working.
Pumpkin ice cream.
Don't tempt them. I am working on increasing my self-worth. Okay, got it.
I am working on improving my habits. I am working on improving the respect that I have for myself.
Yes. Just so you know, as far as your choice of words, which are very powerful, anytime you say, I, negative connotation, adjective.
Example, please.
Let's say,
I hate myself.
or I don't want to do this. You have just put the don't does not negate the want. So your brain still sees it as the I want.
Can you like simplify that?
Yeah, I was thinking about, can I give them a better example as it's coming out of my mouth? Give me 1 second.
You're saying basically like, instead of saying what you don't want, say what you want.
Yeah, so for example, okay, this is something that we hear very often. I don't want to gain weight. Rather than you saying, I don't want to gain weight, you just put emphasis on the gain weight. Say, I want to lose weight.
Yeah, what is the outcome you want?
Yes,
not the outcome
you don't want.
Yeah. So anyways, going back to you saying like, okay, how do we begin right now to improve the amount of respect and worth that we have for ourselves so that we can align our actions with the version of us that is worthy, the version of us that does feel good about us. And you know, I did a call the other day with a group of people. We were saying, you know, like, we were trying to find my why. Like, what's the reason why I want to lose weight? And a lot of the theme that really kept coming up was like, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know who I am anymore. And when we want to lose weight, there's a reason why we want to lose weight. And it's not just because we want to look better or feel better. Ultimately, it comes back down to, I want to feel worthy. I want to feel worthy, and I want to feel like I have a purpose. I want to feel like, you know, I'm creating a great example for my kids, because if I don't, I am going to be responsible for them potentially being in the same position I'm in. And that's a big why. Now, a lot of people have a hard time figuring out their, like, why am I doing this? Because they don't know what they want, and you don't know what you want if you don't know who you are. But here's the cool thing. You get to make it up. Who do you want to be?
Yeah.
Like when you're a kid and people are like, you can be anything you want. That's the truth. I don't know why we stop telling ourselves that. It's because when things are difficult, we are told to quit. We are encouraged to quit. We're encouraged to take the easy way, the fast way, and it never is. And so, you know, this like, it ultimately going back to like, I want to lose weight, putting what you think you'll get from losing weight in front of it, which is the like, I'll feel more confident and healthier and better, to simply start behaving like that now and decide in that moment, like, when I am at my goal weight, what's the person I want to be? Who is the person I want to be? And just make it up. Whatever makes you feel alive, whatever makes you feel like you will enjoy your life, like, what does that look like? Paint that picture and then start behaving just one piece at a time, one day at a time, one step at a time. Start behaving like that person would behave for their whole life. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, things to remember. Self-worth is something that you gain in the process. You become self-worthy. You do not arrive at self-worth. You become self-worthy. And anything that involves becoming involves you stepping into a process.
And doing the work.
So if you know that you have an opportunity to increase your self-worth, and let me tell you something, we all do. I'm sure Erin does. I'm sure I do. And I'll tell you what is the best way to increase your self-worth. To prove to yourself that you can do hard things. Anytime you overcome like something hard, especially when you know that in the past you're like, dude, there is no way. This is why in our burn zone workouts, we make people do like handstand kick-throughs, because like what they think is, oh yeah, I'm doing fitness. I'm like, no, what you're doing is you're building your self-confidence.
And we're creating a purpose. Think
Right.
about how many people are like, I want to be able to do a handstand.
Of course,
And
it's a skill.
you know how good you feel when you're working towards something. You know what that is called?
Just like ring muscle up for us the first time.
Do you know what that's called? When you're working towards something?
A mission.
Purpose.
Oh,
You have a purpose. It could be something so small.
yeah.
It could be like, wow, my purpose is to like fit into a size 8 dress. That's my purpose. That's the goal. That's the thing I'm working on, or whatever it is, right? So when we do the burn zone and we have those kick throughs, people have a purpose. You create your own purpose. And when you have a purpose, you take action. And when you are taking action, working towards something, you feel alive. The problem is, and why we get so depressed and anxious and sad all the time, is because we don't have anything that we are significantly working towards achieving. There is no purpose. And people think, oh, what, I have to have this grandiose life purpose. No, just make it up. What do you want to do? Okay, go work towards that. Go face the hard things that you have to overcome to achieve that. That's what gives you a sense of purpose and like aliveness. Is that a word? Aliveness. Life.
Like Boogie, for example, he has a purpose every single morning when we take him out.
To
go
catch
poop.
lizard.
To catch a lizard.
He's intently focused on it.
If you want to be happier, happiness does not lie in the weight loss. Happiness lies in the purpose
bigger
of
purpose.
achievement. Weight loss is just a manifestation of achievement. That's why so many people in society say, I want to lose weight. No, what you want is a greater sense of achievement. That's why people say, I want more money, even if they have, like enough money to cover for themselves. Now, I'm not saying if you want like that extra fancy shit, like by all means, go for it, America, right? But, why do some people keep on chasing the thing and literally their lives are empty regardless of what's in their bank account? It's no different. It's because what they're chasing is achievement. They just haven't.
It's never enough.
It's never enough. Anything,
Which is
whether
okay.
it's weight.
It shouldn't be.
Right, but there needs to be a purpose behind it. That's why, for example, like all of our mentors, right? Like they give back to the community. They don't just, go to get more money to go to get more money. They already have more than enough. It's because they want to make a more significant impact by utilizing that money to help like less fortunate ones, which is a beautiful thing. It's like, oh, how many people can we help? So like the same thing for our mission. Like we are mission focused. We want to help millions of people to transform their life through the same movement, nutrition, and lifestyle habits. So every single year we have an impact goal. Like we are basing our achievement based on how many lives have we changed.
And even when we reach our goal, it's not going to be enough.
Nope.
Because you're chasing the achievement.
Right.
You're not chasing the thing you're not chasing the byproduct of the achievement, the money, the weight loss, the impact, or whatever. You're not chasing the byproduct of the achievement. You're chasing the achievement itself. We feel good about ourselves when we are achieving and succeeding and overcoming failures and adversities. That's when we feel good. So, the comment of like, when is enough enough? it should never be enough, because as soon as it's enough, you will begin getting depressed.
Yes.
Because we as human beings, we always want to be better. We want to improve. We want to achieve. We want to succeed.
And
so this means that, okay, that's why, like, people who have more money than they know how to spend or what to do with, why do they need more? It's not the money. It's the money's the byproduct. The weight loss, the body's the byproduct. Do we need to keep working out as hard as we do to maintain what we have? We don't. But we do it for other reasons. For one, it's achievement. For one, how much more can I do? What is my body capable of?
How can I be myself?
How can I feel proud of myself in this workout? I've got to try hard. You're proud of yourself when you try hard. Even if you don't succeed all the time, failure is a part of the process, but you're proud of yourself when you try hard. And when you're proud of yourself, you want to do more of that thing.
And something else that I want to add too, where were you? This is you. So listen, there are certain disordered eating patterns are becoming more prominent, and that is because of lack of purpose and misinformation. I will tell you that over the last year, we have had more people who struggle with anorexia or starving themselves than we've had ever before. And that is simply because it is becoming more prominent. And
but why?
The reason why it's becoming more prominent is because when you have approached, body transformation without a purpose and without understanding it, you are looking for the wrong things. So what you think is that when the scale goes down, I am achieving something. So you continually pursue the how can the scale go down? How can the scale go down? How can the scale go down? And that's why we're creating literally, like, with regards to body image, with regards to how we're treating ourselves, new problems, because there is a false sense of what achievement is. Achievement does not lie on the number on the scale. Achievement lies in what have you overcome. So
what failures and adversities have you made your way through?
Yeah, and that's why you will see people who, let's say, have started their journey at 250 pounds and they lost 15 pounds the right way. They can have a lot more self-worth and self-confidence than the 115-pound girl who have lost over 100 pounds. Because it is not about the number on the scale where the achievement is found. It is by what you've overcome. And I will tell you, if you've gotten yourself, because I've been there, to a point where the scale is really low, your body does not want to continue to drop anything below that. That is just a fact.
Because you're killing yourself at that point.
Right. And if you continue to try to reaffirm yourself by that one thing, you're, number one, trying to kill yourself by doing that. And number two,
maybe not trying, but
and number two, you're going to notice that the scale is not moving. So what do? You're literally now, you're now just magnifying your insecurity. So you take out more food from your diet. You work out even more. I know that because I used to struggle with that. But that is a false sense of what achievement is due to lack of self-awareness and due to misinformation.
Can I step in to give a bottom line summary?
Yeah.
The achievement is not what it looks like on the outside, but what it feels like on the inside.
Yes.
So I wasn't trying to say somebody's trying to kill themselves if they are just trying to make the number on the scale go down. I'm saying your body doesn't want to be that deprived. And so what happens is your body is trying to fight you from dying because the actions that you're doing are making it to where it is going to be sicker. It's more susceptible to diseases, injuries, illnesses. The immune system is getting weaker and all of that. So We're looking for control, and the what you're saying is the wrong way to measure that is by what it looks like on the outside, and the right way to measure it is by what it feels like on the inside. And somebody has joined us for this whole episode. If they're an OG, they know what I'm talking about. But I'd like you to come a little closer to the camera. And if you guys notice...
Oh, Josephine.
Josephine the Jew curl.
Oh, I thought you meant my pee-pee monster.
No, your pee-pee... Josephine the Jew curl has been with us this whole time. Anyways... If you liked this video, then that makes us so grateful. We want to show up for you. The TKC is coming up, Transformation Kickstart Challenge. So find the link in the description below. Before Sarit pees her pants, go click that button, sign up. It's a free challenge. It's super fun. It's going to be a great time. It's 5 days, starts January 2nd. And share this video with somebody else who seems to find their self-worth in the scale rather than from the inside, so that they can benefit themselves. We love you. Subscribe, like, get notified.
And join the TKC because we'll help you to increase your self-worth there.
I love you.
Love you.
Bye. Okay, go.